What's up, heathens? How ya doing? I'm the Godless engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Today, we're taking a look at a clip from The Line. If you will, please go down below and make sure you follow The Line to catch more of my appearances when I host over there. Today, we are going to be talking to Michal. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but Michal is going to be giving us, I guess, evidence, or at least try to convince us away from atheism. We also discuss miracles versus, natural explanations. Which one's more likely given our experiences? And then finally, we discuss the problem of intelligent design and why that's not a sufficient reason to believe in a god. So if you want to fuck around and find out whether or not Michal will convert both Seth Andrews and I, then please stay tuned.
I've got Michael from Europe. Michael, are you with us?
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
I was just calling because you said in the stream title that would you give us the reason to convert? And
give us a reason. We're ready.
Yeah. I wanted to approach this in a way to discuss the difference in how atheists and believers approach the faith. From what you've observed, I will mostly focus on Christians. What do you have experience with them, with Christians wanting to promote when they talk about the faith in general?
Ask that question again. I missed it.
When Christians talk about their faith and they're amongst themselves and they talk about the things that they want to talk about, what have you noticed that they focus on?
What have I noticed anecdotally, personally, subjectively, that Christians talk about amongst themselves?
Yeah, sure.
Mostly I see them speak in a cursory way about their faith. I don't see much about theology. It's more about community. It's more about a culture of Christianity.
Because the way I wanted to approach this issue is that when a group is together amongst itself, it focuses on the things which are important to it. So if you would want to convert, like you said, you want to hear reasons too, then you would approach the things that you want to convert to see the things that they value and how you have appreciation for the things that they want to support, stuff like this. The way I would describe that Christians among themselves, like both in their communities and when they write theological treatises and so on, they focus mainly on the virtues, on charity, on salvation overall. But that's topic which with atheists is more difficult to discuss. But mainly focusing on the spiritual calmness, the deepness, and the virtues, prudence.
Michael, I need a question or comment here, my friend. I need you to get to your destination for me.
Sorry, that's what I was going to ask to land the plane on this. Do you think that you can convert us away from atheism?
Probably not. And I will tell you something which I noticed from earlier in the stream. Like, hold up. John, you said that if you had some evidence related like some miracle, you wouldn't know if that was a hallucination or not, right? This was something.
Well, I mean, I gave that as one possible conclusion, that it's just a hallucination or whatever. But I mean, more importantly, I think that it's just, in more, I guess, maybe abstractly, is how do I know that it's just not some natural phenomena that I either don't understand or it just doesn't occur to me in the moment. So like, how do we separate out these miracles or these magical events from just normal natural phenomena that we either don't understand or we don't understand yet? I know it's a difficult question. How do you discern between those two? I mean, honestly, I feel like discerning something as non-magical is actually pretty easy because magic doesn't seem to exist as far as we understand it. So like it seems like the more likely conclusion for any kind of phenomena that we would experience is going to be a natural explanation. That's where I would go first. It would take an immense amount of evidence, like a substantial amount of evidence, in order to prove that some magical thing that I think happened actually did happen.
Yeah, I would say that is a little bit of a problem, but in the sense that it's easy to come at this with the baseline that magic doesn't exist, so you don't see anything out of the ordinary, and so you continue on your observation that okay, there isn't anything magical. But in the case that there would be something magical, and you approaching this, finding something which relates to magic, when you do,
I'm totally lost. Let me address something quickly.
Yeah,
I put a C in your name, and there's not one. I've been calling you Michael. Please tell me your first name, and so I can pronounce it correctly.
Michael.
Mihail, please accept my apology. I'm so sorry. Let me make that note right here. I have no idea what your question is about magic and all of these other things about Christianity. We are so far out in the weeds. We're going to have to dial it in, or I'm going to move on, my friend. Do you have just a way to synopsize your question in a nutshell?
Well, this part of it is complicated, and it needs some detail, which you probably don't have time on this issue. I would like to mention something which also happened earlier in the stream. You said that you have this series about how you'd make a better intelligent design than God is presented to have made. From what metric do you approach that? Like, according to which measurement?
How would I gauge better design? Well, if let's say I was to design a birthing process that didn't result in damage, great pain and damage to tissue, potential threats to both the mother and the baby, I would consider that to be better because I can understand the concepts of harm. I can understand what damage to tissues. I can understand what pain is. And so I can then assess what would be a better design, larger pelvis, or we do something different with the birth canal. Or in the speech, I actually gave the example of the kangaroo as kind of a tongue-in-cheek alternative. But I don't think it's all that difficult to say one is more harmful than another, one is more painful than another, because we can understand those concepts.
Okay. So it's in terms of the function of the organ itself. The funny thing I found about this is that the intelligent design perspective, well, some people take it also in the terms of the physicality of it, but the purpose of the design, at least theologically speaking, isn't on the material function of the organs and themselves. It's intelligent design would be the way that these qualities in each person in the universe come together to give us opportunities to explore the more psychological and spiritual lessons, having what God wants to teach us overall, like having this space in which we can a better.
Where is this going?
Mihail, thank you for the call. We're going to go ahead and move on, my friend. Okay, we'll see you later. So what I was hearing at the end there, if I can synopsize once again what the caller was attempting to say, was that even those parts of the design which are suboptimal, even painful, potentially damaging, are part of a larger model to exercise our faith. I've also heard other people say that the good stuff belongs to Yahweh, but if there's some bad design or there's something that is destructive out there, that's because Eve sinned in the garden along with Adam, the fall of humankind, free will. There's a bunch of silly putty excuses for why bad design exists. These people are not stopping to say, hey, why would a God who knew everything past, present, and future, the one who foreknew the immediate failure of that design, why would he continue in the first place? A variation on that is, why would God create anyone he foreknew would end up in hell?
Needless to say, Michal did not convince us away from atheism and towards Yahweh or the Christian God. So sorry, Michal. Please try again. What I would like to know is what y'all thought about all of these arguments presented by Michal. Are you convinced by miracles, or do you think intelligent design is a good enough reason to believe in God? And while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.